Oh, nice.
Oh, yeah. We're doing this.
Let's get it.
Chip. Let's go.
I'm waiting for that beat. I got my Michael Jordan shirt on.
Is that a real Michael Jordan?
It's a real Michael Jordan shirt.
Yes.
From Michael Jordan?
Yeah, from Michael Jordan.
You know, it's funny. Someone the other day, like, I filled in for you, like, did you wear orange? And I was like, what do you mean did I wear orange? They're like, Gabe likes orange. I show up today looking like a tangerine, man.
He's wearing orange. Hey, y'all. Welcome to Cross Politic on YouTube. We got campus preacher Keith back in the studio.
All week,
Pastor
actually.
Toby. Yeah, all week. Pastor Toby's on vacation. Chalk Knox, and I'm the water boy. It's good to be with you. We had... when you guys get to tune in later to our show, we got to interview the founders of GiveSendGo.
Yeah, Heather and Jacob,
brother and sister,
yeah.
come from a family of 12. They're solid Christian believers.
I didn't ask them if they baptized babies. I should have asked them that question.
I was thinking about that when you closed it out with baptize your babies. I was kind of curious what their take was.
Why didn't you say something?
I was kind of curious.
Okay.
And one of the things, there's so many details that they didn't even get into with everything that went on.
But they were a great interview.
They were
a great interview.
They got a lot going on. So, yeah, it's pretty sweet.
And great story. But the thing that struck me in all this is how Christians need to be starting businesses. And the pagans are actually making it pretty easy. Right?
Yeah.
Because what happened with GiveSendGo, they started in 2014. Well, GoFundMe started canceling all these conservative causes, or even causes that conservatives would be willing to support. They might even, like Kyle Rittenhouse, before he was guilty or not guilty, GoFundMe canceled them. The trucker convoy in Canada, GoFundMe canceled them. They had $9 million in Canadian dollars raised on the GoFundMe campaign. $9 million.
And that's probably worldwide. It's not just Canada. That's America giving to a lot of that, I'm sure.
Yeah. And the Canadian government got involved in that whole process.
Yeah.
But what happened, and they referenced this in the interview, what happened was whenever they said GoFundMe is probably their number one employee for the year. Because whenever they cancel a $9 million campaign, all those people jump over to GiveSendGo. We still want to give money.
Yeah.
And so I think one of the things is, so like I said, I think being able to start a company right now is really important for Christians.
Yeah.
And non-Christians are making it very easy because they're doing stupid stuff like this. And I think the other problem is when you start a Christian company right now, you got to be ready for the battles.
Yeah.
You got to be ready for the war.
Hey, could you guys get that Clarence Thomas clip geared up, ready to go? I know you guys are like, I just scared half all our interns. No, it's impossible.
We'll do it.
Get it done.
We got
it's
45 interns.
I know the screens are probably going to do weird stuff because you guys have to get it all set up. I know. It's okay. I don't mind that. Go ahead, Gabe.
So starting, you got to be ready for the battles right now because Christian companies running your business with your Christian faith on your sleeve is going to get you under attack. GiveSendGo's been through that. They've been through the controversies. They've been attacked. They've been attacked by the Canadian government. They had to go to Parliament.
Yeah.
They spoke before Parliament.
Was crazy. I didn't even know that part of the story.
No, I didn't.
Why did the American government allow for something like that to take place?
I know.
Why did the American government say, it's okay for this other country, by the way, to call
bring our
American citizens?
Yeah, well, they were funny, but the part that was fascinating was the hacker. So they get hacked by a guy who has connections with the Canadian government.
Yeah.
So they have a pushback. They have to go to Parliament, speak. Next thing you know, they're being cyber attacked by someone who's QAnon, not QAnon, but anonymous.
Anonymous. Yeah.
And then and that guy has ties.
And he came out and took full responsibility for hacking the GiveSendGo.
Well, at least they're being fair. They're not processing anybody at the border on one end, and they're not caring about what happens at the border at the other.
Yeah.
Well, you know what they did was they GiveSendGo got hacked. The campaign that was raising money for the trucker convoys got hacked.
Yeah.
And they got all the names. And then the Canadian government took those names and went after each individual in Canada.
It's insane.
It's wicked.
Yeah. So you guys got the video clip ready? Yep. Okay, I wanted to play this. Speaking of making it easy, right now, our job has gotten a lot easier because certain people are acting super crazy because of Roe v. Wade. They don't understand what has happened inside of the Dobbs versus Jackson case that overturned Roe v. Wade. So people are acting insane. One of the ways they're acting insane is by going after Clarence Thomas. They've lost their whole mind. Yeah. But Clarence Thomas, he fine. He ready for that smoke.
And
you can be in the middle of a hurricane, or you can be on a calm day. North is still north.
Clarence Thomas. The hell with the Supreme Court.
You could be in a thunderstorm. North is still north.
I am spitting mad.
America, I'm renouncing my citizenship.
People can yell at you.
Hands off our bodies! Hands off our bodies!
North is still north.
I don't care about your religion. Well, the Bible says this in this chapter, in this verse, I don't care.
It doesn't change fundamental things.
And I can't believe Clarence Thomas would stab us in the back after all we did to help the black community. Clarence Thomas is a...
Because the right is going to put Supreme Court people in who are just ruining this country and taking basic rights away. I honestly believe 95% of the people in the country think like me.
And in this business, right is still right, even if you stand by yourself.
Barstool Sports. He just wants to peg more women. And
Dave.
not have-
Fork over $400 for an abortion rather than
pay for
half his wealth.
So the one of the guys who said, "Hey, I'm renouncing my citizenship," he's one of the lead singers from Green Day. And it was hilarious to me because if he understood what happened in the overturning of Roe v. Wade through Dobbs versus Jackson, the last thing that he would say is, "I'm renouncing my citizenship," because it all went back to the states. So it got the false god.
He should have just said, "I'm aborting my citizenship."
but the false god of Roe v. Wade has fallen, and it's splintered off into the states now. It's on the run. It's retreating. And so now all of our fights are going to be on a very local level at the state level, right? And so him leaving, I hope he takes a whole bunch of people with him. Because
they always promise to leave, though. Every election, if that Republican wins, I'm leaving America.
Maybe we should incentivize them.
Maybe go to that Go Send Fund or whatever.
GoSendGo.
We can get them some money. Go there.
GiveSendGo.
We can get them some money.
Really?
You messed me up earlier, so now I'm confused. But we can raise some money for them. Get them out of here.
I wonder how much we could. That would be hilarious. We should say, "Hey, everybody who wants to leave America,
we will help you get out. We will fund one-way tickets.
Yeah, one-way tickets.
We will fund one-way tickets.
And let us know your moving expenses. We can maybe factor that in.
If you promise not to come back, are you trying to leave?
Yeah.
Really? Do you not know what we're doing right now?
We got a YouTube show.
Okay, go. Bye.
I just kept going.
If you're just gonna leave like that, we don't need you anymore.
Download the app.
Yeah, no, we don't need you. Just turn your mic off. Since you ain't gonna be here, I'm just gonna turn your mic off.
Download the app.
Turn my mic off. all the mics off. Wow, just gonna leave me hanging like this. But it is interesting because now the fight is coming down. Faster, please. I'm trying to do a show here. Just take your time. I mean, we ain't doing nothing that's important. You got everything? You good? Please take your Michael Jordan shirt up out of here.
Michael Jordan shirt.
Yeah. But I mean, since they don't understand what's actually going on, they're renouncing their citizenship. And if you're going to renounce your citizenship, that means that when it comes time to vote on the issue or deal with the issue at a local level, you won't be here.
Yeah, you're out.
And I'm like, okay. And I've been I feel better talking to you anyway. It's like me and you.
I think we got rid of some dead weight. I mean that's what we've been able to do.
Like,
for the last 45 minutes, I'm like, come on, when are we going to get rid of this guy? And finally he goes. So we're good now. We're good now.
I mean, this is the new hotness right here.
That's the new hotness.
But the other thing that has been really interesting is Portnoy. When he was on, he said, hey, 95% of the people believe the way that I believe. But that's not actually the right way that things run. This is what he's saying, true north. Like, it doesn't matter if 99.9% of the people believe the way that you believe. Right is always right, and wrong is always wrong, right? And so we've gotten to the point where it's like, hey, why don't we put it to a vote? That's my only problem with the Roe v. Wade situation is like, well, now the states could decide. Wait, but is it wrong? Is if it's a human person and it's wrong, the states already have a constitution we've agreed to on how we treat people. They get life, they get liberty. They get the pursuit of happiness, which is property, right? Yeah. That's what happens with a human being. Go ahead.
No, I was just like, ever since Friday, just reading online, seeing people's tweets, seeing people getting interviewed, you just realize like we are disintegrating. We no longer have a foundation. So even if our founding fathers were hypocrites, they at least appealed to each man is endowed with their created by certain inalienable rights, life, liberty, pursuit of happiness. Now may have been hypocritical in their application, but you're starting to see people get asked, well, do you think this ruling is constitutional? I don't care what the Constitution says.
Right.
So like when you're at that place, and even the right kind of did it, strands of the Donald Trump gang, the election's illegitimate. And then the Supreme Court comes out, it's illegitimate. So we're basically at a place where everything's a will to power. And there is no, so Portnoy, 95%. If I get 95% on people on my side, who cares what is right, what is wrong? It's just will. It's just sheer will at this point.
It seems like, though, I was hoping that it seems like the Supreme Court might be the last place in a lot of ways to have a civil conversation. You know, Sotomayor came out and gave Clarence Thomas huge high praise. He's like, I disagree with Clarence, right? Like me and him, we fight at each other all the time about what the law says and what we can and can't do. But there's nobody has more character than that man, right? And it was like when I saw that, I mean, as on a shot, it's like, I don't know what to do with it as far as where it fits in, but at least it seems like that might be the last place to have a civil conversation on planet Earth, is at least at the Supreme Court level, right?
And that seems to be, has ever since I can remember, I don't pay tons of attention to the Supreme Court. That seems to be the MO. And even with the leak, that seemed to be way out. The Supreme Court almost did, like, even if we disagreed with them, they seem to be sacred's the wrong word, but kind of like always held in high regard. And then when the leak came out, that was even a pivot with respect to the institution of the Supreme Court.
Yeah.
And so, just everything seems to be getting dismantled slowly. So I'm kind of curious where we're, 15 years from now, what's really going on.
I have hope. I have hope that 15 years from now, the homeschoolers that we've been investing in for the last 40, 50 years will become adults who have gotten their own children and educated them and then give them to government schools. And we start getting basic things like what a woman is right again, right? Like that's part of, which by the way, Portnoy drives me nuts. But which by the way is what's at stake when men like Portnoy are saying, hey, no man should ever be able to tell a woman what to do with her body. It's like, shut up. Every time a woman gets to the car, we've told her what to do with her body. Put a seatbelt on.
Yeah.
Right? Like that. There's no question about that. That's already there. But also, like, when we're talking about what a woman can do with her body, we're saying a woman should be able to be treated like a rag doll and not have a man commit to her before marriage, and then he can toss her away with a human life and not have to be attached to her whatsoever. So what they've done is they move the conversation really isn't about the child. We're having that conversation.
Yeah.
But the real conversation is, what is a woman and what is she for? And can you just treat her any kind of way?
Yeah, we basically have to go back to creation and like keep laying out creation, because every one of these discussions, man, woman, cleaves to a man, leaves his father's mother, cleaves to his wife. No more. You don't have to cleave to anything, man. Go use it. Get what you want. You don't want it anymore. Toss it aside. No fault divorce. And then from there, the woman, the mother of all living, is now like, let's kill my baby. So the whole creation, like, over the last, 160 years, ever since Darwin, it was even going on before that, but all of creation has been deconstructed in the West over the last 160 years, roughly. And now we're at a place where, God created man, male and female. We don't even know what that is anymore. And that's why, part of Fight, Laugh, Feast, everything else going on, Campus Preacher, is like, it always going back to worship. Yeah, it always goes back to, are you worshiping the Creator? Because that's what Romans 1 lays out. They, wrath of God is being revealed from heaven, because they suppress the truth of God and righteousness, and they no longer thank the Creator. They worship and serve the creature rather than the Creator. And that's the root issue. And that's why it always comes back to evangelism, preaching the gospel, the death, the burial, resurrection of Christ. Because I was preaching in Iowa a couple weeks ago, because at the end of the day, man, like, our culture needs death and resurrection. Like there's no amount, like, I thank God for the Supreme Court victory, but at the end of the day, it's a kind of like a speed bump in the road of what's coming down. And so what we need,
I like thinking of an idol falling, but go ahead.
But what we need is genuine death and resurrection. We have a whole generation of young people when I'm out on campus who are utterly, there's a huge chasm on what they think about the nature of reality, what they think of themselves, what they think of their neighbor. Yeah. So everything's lost and confused, and it goes back to preaching the death, the burial, and resurrection of Jesus. And we had a discussion about this before the show. One thing that was fascinating last night, we were having a Roe v. Wade bash / ascension party. And I'm standing there talking to somebody, I get a text like, hey, there's a couple here that wants to meet you. And I go over to the guy who texts me, and I started talking to these people, and they would listen to me at Washington State preach back in 2019. And they said that, we were secularists. And he says, I was a full tilt nihilist, because that or Christianity seemed consistent. And you were just out there squarely firm in the gospel, and you're unflinching, saying,
true
this
north,
is right,
huh?
this is right. Yeah, true north. Yeah, north is north. And just kind of laying that message out. And by the grace of God, 3 years later, I'm able to meet him. And he's like, I'm a believer now because of that. And what's interesting to me was in 2019, particularly, how many messages I've received from people, and it's the same testimony. One of them was, I've never seen a Christian man unflinching in the face of evil before. Like, How is that not every Christian man? I'm not doing anything spectacular. I'm 5'6", you know what I mean? And I just stand out there and I preach the gospel when people.
But he preach like he's 9'9".
I got that 7-foot game when I'm preaching. I'll tell you that. But
you really do.
But it's just like here's the message, and I'm not going to flinch because I know it's true. I know Jesus was really crucified, really dead, really buried, really resurrected on the third day. Then he ascended, and now he has at the right hand of the Father, and he poured out his Spirit that we could be his witnesses. And so what we need is people filled with the Holy Spirit, witnessing to the death, the burial, and resurrection of Christ. And these idols will continue to fall and fall and fall. Athanasius, go read on the incarnation. He just lays out how the Roman Empire, just the gods were conquered through the incarnation. And it's that message we're constantly preaching.
Talk about some lordship of Christ.
Amen.
We did talk about that too in the show, but you have to go and watch it if you want to see what's going on over at the app. Download the app. It's over there at your favorite app store. Fight, Laugh, Feast. Get it. Become a club member. Again, it helps us. Oh, this is one of the wonderful things they said at GiveSendGo. Start using alternative platforms, right? We only get better if you start using us. You want to see us get hot? Join a Fight, Laugh, Feast club. We'll get hot. You know what I mean? You want to see Keith get hot? If you're single, get married. If you're married, have you some kids. See, we ain't need Gabe.
No, if you dead weight, man. Dead weight.
If you have kids, go baptize them. Until tomorrow, love God with all your heart, soul, mind, and strength. Love your neighbor as yourself. Go fight, laugh, and feast. Yeah. All right, it's enough of that.